All right, I'm J.Ralls-Novo. This is my checkoff for the splint. Gonna demonstrate the short arm splint for a distal radius fracture. First, I'm gonna check the skin for any open wounds, any abrasions, just to check to see how the skin condition is before applying the splint. My patient's got good cap refill, good skin color. So just want to make sure the skin is in good shape before we splint it. I am going to measure my stockinette before opening up my casting supplies. So I'm going to do it about right here. I've got all my supplies in place. I have lukewarm water. I've got my casting material. I've got my stockinette. I've got my gloves. I've got scissors, and I've got my ACE wrap, and I am going to talk through this process. Cut a hole for the thumb, and I want to be cognizant of the palmar crease here because I want the patient to be able to flex his fingers afterwards. So we're going to apply the stockinette. Got the thumb hole. All right. Gonna don our gloves. So to let you know, this Scotch cast will start setting as soon as I open this. It does have a warming feeling to it, especially once I activate it in water, so you will feel warmth, just to let you know. So we can measure this beforehand. We can trim off any excess. We want to be mindful of the exposed inside fiberglass, pushing back the padding, cutting that excess off to protect the patient from any abrasions or skin lacerations that could pose a risk for infection. So I just want to measure this out. I'm going to trim off the excess here and then cut off that extra fiberglass to avoid any skin irritation. Now I am going to have my lukewarm water here. I'm going to fully submerge it to activate this. I'm going to wring out the excess fluid and then straighten it out. Just kind of get out any extra water from this. So I am going to position it here, and you can still fold your hands, correct? And then the stockinette's just underneath that. And then the thumb, the bony prominences are protected around the wrist and thumb. And sir, if you don't mind just holding this in place, just be careful. And then we are going to start wrapping. Not too tight. You don't want to cause compartment syndrome. You don't want to have any problems with your circulation. We will check afterwards to make sure that there's good cap refill, that the patient isn't having any pain, any increased pain, because you don't want to do this too tight, like I said, for compartment syndrome. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes for this to set. And you want to make sure that you're able to touch your fingers with your thumb. You're still able to do that. This is gonna I'm just gonna kind of support this as it sets and cures. if there's any swelling, that might cause this to loosen. So if there's any problems like with this going loose and you can't keep it on, I want you to go to an ER or contact the office so that we can readjust this. If there's any new or worsening pain, any numbness, please make sure that you're seeking care right away. Also, if you get this wet, this needs to be changed out because it can lead to skin maceration and breakdown. Can lead to a whole host of problems and infections. So, yeah, do you feel the warmth of this? So 10 to 15 minutes, you're gonna check good cap refill, skin sensation, you feel everything, and you're able to use your fingers. And so this will set until you can get to orthopedic. And do you have any questions? All right, thank you.